We've talked about major gameplay changes and we've talked about all the new features coming to Ultimate Team. But there's one thing which is arguably just as important but not really talked about that much. That is the transfer market. EA have made some changes based on certain things no longer being used, as well as adding new features, which means there's going to be some drastic changes when it comes to the transfer market and also trading. And even if you're not someone that does trade within Ultimate Team, this will still affect you. Some of these things being good, others, well, not so much, which you'll soon see. So firstly, let's talk about the menu itself. EA have gone for a completely new format, and this is a good thing. Just like what we've had within previous Ultimate Teams, where everything is broken down into various sections, from objectives to gameplay to the transfer market to your club, everything is still lined up in the same way, except it can be a lot of back and forth with what we've had to deal with before. If you were to go through an SBC, you would need to go through the SBC, select the SBC, and if you needed to go and buy a player, you could go through the menu, which would allow you to add a concept player and then go through the transfer market. Or if you're someone like me who just prefers to use the transfer market, you would need to back out of the SBC, back out into the menus for SBCs, go to the main menu to then go across to select the transfer market and then put in the parameters. Now, this is a bit more fluid as you'll now be able to press a single button, which will bring the menu up top left, and you can select exactly where you want to go, making things so much smoother. And if you are going to be a menu player, such as a trader, it becomes a lot easier to go back and forth between SBCs and the transfer market or the transfer market to your squad. A pretty good change, but that can't be said for the next change. A new feature to Ultimate Team will be that you will now be able to pack multiple versions of the exact same player within a single pack. What does this mean? Well, currently within FIFA 23 and every other Ultimate Team, if a player was to go and get a team of the week, it meant that for that week, the default version of that player, and let's just say it's Mbappe would not have his rare gold card available within packs, because if you were to pack him, it meant that you would get his team of the week version, not his rare gold. This will now be changing, meaning that once Mbappe does get a team of the week, and let's be real, it probably will happen at some point, if not a team of the week, some type of special card, not only would you be able to pack that special card for that week, but you'll also still be able to have a chance of packing his rare gold. For traders, this also now means that you won't be able to do probably the easiest trading method ever, which is investing into rare gold players before their team of the week card is added. You used to be able to make millions of coins doing this. That will no longer be available because the supply doesn't change. It's also going to be extremely frustrating for everyone else, especially on big occasions like Team of the Year or Team of the Season. Because if Mbappe was to get a Team of the Year, but whilst opening packs you get his rare gold, you're gonna feel cheated. Even though he's still going to be a godly player and still worth a bit of coin, his Team of the Year is going to be free for potentially even 5 times the value. And this affects absolutely everyone. Next up, we need to talk about position modifiers. They no longer exist. In FIFA 23, EA made a change to the position system, and also they made a change to chemistry. Chemistry no longer required you to have direct links. It could be anyone within the starting 11, and with positions, it was no longer you being able to move a CDM up to a striker, but instead there would be a preferred position and an alternative positions. But you would still need a position modifier in order to change them from the preferred to the alternatives. That is no longer a step that needs to be taken, because within EA FC, now if you want to change a player's position from their preferred to their alternatives, you will just move them to their alternative position and it will automatically change. This is a massive benefit, especially for FUT Draft. FUT Draft, since the creation, has never allowed you to change positions. If you got a center forward, you could not move them up to a striker. You would need to play them as a center forward within the striker position, and you would never be able to get maximum chemistry out of it. Due to the change within FIFA 23, it then meant that you would not get any chemistry whatsoever. Even if you was playing that player in their alternative position, if you can't change that position, you would get 0 chemistry, and that player would not have any effect on any other player within the team. Very annoying. So this change certainly benefits here, but it does also mean that another popular trading method won't be available within EA FC. One of the best methods that you can start using early on within game with a very low amount of coins is the position change method, where you can take a player in their preferred position, go and buy a position modifier, apply them together, list them back onto the transfer market, but because they're now out of their preferred position, and if anyone else wants to do the exact same thing, they would need to pay extra, you can actually sell them at a premium. That doesn't matter anymore. Anyone can change any player's position to be their alternative without it costing anything. No one will be willing to pay an extra 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 coins for a player just so that they can change position, which now is free. So this method will no longer exist. Another big turning point within FIFA, which could make trading slightly harder, is the amount of new players that will be available. Of course, we're talking about women coming into Ultimate Team. In total, there will be over 1,600 female players, and female players will be added to packs, objectives, and can be used within your squad for trading, to complete SBCs, you name it. Anything that you can do with a player will also now include female players. Overall, it's a great change to have. But with what we've talked about so far within this video, as well as looking over what's happened over the last 5, 6, 7 years, EA has removed less consumables from packs and added more and more players. And this year is no different. The removal of position modifiers, that's one less consumable to pack, but an extra 1,600 female players on top of players no longer being taken out of packs just because they have special cards. This overall is a good thing because now you're not just going to have a pack filled with consumables, you'll have a lot of packs filled with players, which is exactly what people want. In terms of the transfer market though, we're gonna have a lot more players on the transfer market than ever before. That mix with this also being cross-platform, and a transfer market this year is gonna be cross-platform for all platforms, Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. PC, you guys got screwed over last year because you had a separate transfer market, which was at a higher price compared to Xbox and PlayStation, but you would still have cross-play, which meant that you would still come up to people on Xbox and PlayStation. With this one, it's interesting to see. I don't know too much about Ultimate Team economics, but I do believe that this is the biggest jump we've had in recent years for the amount of players that will be available within Ultimate Team, and that's got to do something to the transfer market as a whole. This one, I just wanted to highlight. I don't know the end result, but it will be interesting to see. And the final thing that I want to talk about is a game mode that I'm very much excited for. In fact, it's not really a game mode, but a feature. This is Evolutions. Evolutions will allow you to buy players as long as they fit certain parameters that will change on a season by season basis. And what you can do is, as long as you find a player that fits within those parameters, you can buy into them and go through challenges. As you complete challenges, you'll be able to upgrade that player. Upgrading them will allow you to change their overall rating, their overall in-game stats. You can apply playstyles to them, you can change positions, you can change work rates, you can pretty much change everything, even the card design itself. And these players can get some pretty hefty boosts, according to what EA has said. This is a great feature on paper, very excited for this. And in EA fashion, it makes sense for you to be able to buy a player that fits these parameters, but the second that you upgrade them, for them to be untradeable. I 100% understand why EA did this. I would have loved to be able to upgrade players and immediately list them onto the transfer market to make those coins, but it is what it is. When it gets real interesting, and I think is going to be a big method within EA FC, is the ability to upgrade players and then use them within SBCs. In the FAQs on the Ultimate Team pitch notes for EA FC, it does say that you will only be able to upgrade one player at a time. Once you read more about it, what they're saying is that once you buy into a player that fits into these parameters, you can focus on their challenges and start to upgrade them. But if you were to go and buy another player, which was in the exact same season, you can then bring them into your team, but you can't upgrade both at the exact same time. You would need to pick one or the other. Whilst you're working on one, you can upgrade them, but it means whatever you do for the other player, if they're still in your starting 11, nothing changes. Even if you complete the challenge, it does not count. If you want the challenges to actually count as you're going through these games, you will need to switch players, select the other one as your priority, and upgrade them. But by doing that, the other player that you initially selected, anything that you do will not count towards the overall objective. And this is cool because you can strategically select which player you want to upgrade, and if you're willing to put the time in, you can take them all the way. For the challenges that have been revealed within gameplay, they're pretty easy. Scoring goals, completing passes, playing a game, and this can be done within division rivals or squad battles. And I'm sure as time goes on, these challenges will get harder and harder. But at the end of the day, you're still upgrading a player, and once they become untradeable, it's still a player that you can use within your club. And if you get them to a certain rating, they will still count towards SBCs. If you are someone that wants to grind Ultimate Team and you enjoy it, this might replace the option for you to just buy fodder. You can build up loads of evolution players, albeit you need to do them individually, but once done, if you could have quite a lot of these in your club, the SBCs that you go through, this would make SBCs so much cheaper, helping you have much higher margins if you were to make profit on them. But anyway, these are just some of the major changes coming to the transfer market in EA FC. Let me know your thoughts about everything that we've talked about. Do you like the change that there will be multiple versions of the exact same player within a single pack? So you can pack their team of the years, their team of the seasons, and also their rare gold cards all within the same pack? Or do you think that this is going to be annoying? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But for now, I'm going. So see ya.